Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to declutter my fragrance collection. It has been years, I think since I started YouTube, so almost 4 years ago, that I was looking for a way or to find the space, let me say also, to put my fragrances in a way that is aesthetically pleasing and also functional. So I wanted my fragrances to be inside the closets, so away from the sun, heat, light, so they are preserved. But I want it to be my happy place. So when I open it, I look at it and I'm just happy. And I have been struggling because I also live in a very small apartment. The space is limited. But I decided that this year, finally, it's not going to be something that I only put in my wish list. I am going to do it. And I think I'm very, very close to it. I have been working on my house for the last 2 months. I decluttered a lot of stuff. And I reorganized my whole closet. I have dedicated a space for my fragrances and it's not very big. I don't know about you, but when I see a lot of YouTubers display their fragrance collection, I can almost see like a curve in the shelf because it's very heavy. They have a lot of fragrances, one next to the other in layers. I don't know about you, but I'm always anxious when I see that because when I grab a fragrance from the row behind, that's the one in front of will fall and maybe break. I don't know, it just makes me anxious. And recently, every time I declutter, I discover there is a lot of fragrances that I really, really love and I don't grab. Not because I don't love them, but because I have so many fragrances and I don't see them, especially in the morning. When you go to work, you want to grab the first thing that you have that is suitable for your, I don't know, your look and office friendly, etc. And having the fragrances well displayed in front of my eyes really helps a lot. I also have a habit every time I declutter to apply a new method. You will find the playlist of all my previous declutters in the description down below. So I did the KonMari method. I did also like if your house is on fire, which fragrances do you grab first? So it was a 5-minute challenge to declutter my fragrances. I did by category. I did by my most favorite to my least favorite. And some people thought that I do that for YouTube. Actually, I do it for myself. I want to discover which method is the best one to declutter my fragrances. So I struggled a little bit with this one. But then I remembered recently, every time I buy a new fragrance, and sometimes even looking at my fragrance collection, I think, is this a fragrance that I am going to repurchase or not? So I am going to go through every single fragrance in my collection and see if it's a fragrance that I would repurchase once it's finished or not. And thinking about the way I thought about new fragrances and my fragrance collection recently, I'm going to divide it by 2 categories. So fragrances that I would definitely not repurchase and fragrances that I would repurchase but in a travel size, because I realized there is a lot of fragrances that I don't wear because there is no occasions or very limited occasions where I can wear such a scent profile. So I am going also to consider that in my declutter. I am planning to declutter at least 25 fragrances, if not more. It would be ideal, I think, to declutter about 40, so I have the optimal space and also leave room for future fragrances because my birthday is coming very soon, as well as Christmas, so I know that some fragrances will be added soon. So as usual, I will lay all the fragrances here on my bed and then go through them and tell you which fragrances I would definitely repurchase, which one would be maybe in a travel size, and which one I would definitely not repurchase and most probably will be decluttered. And I don't think that I'm going to struggle much with this video. So it's going to be a little bit laid back. I have already my coffee there and also for emotional support, some chocolate. So I would love it if you hang out with me while I declutter and chit chat about fragrances. I have also a small guest here. This is Lily, my cat. Oh, my lovely cat. everything. I counted my fragrances. They are currently 140, so I think it's almost the same like the last declutter. So I kind of gained the same amount that I decluttered last time, which is the theme, the recurrent theme. I always end up with 120, something like that. Now it's 140, and I definitely don't have the space for that, and I'm only one person. I cannot use all these fragrances. And before showing you the fragrances that I am going definitely to declutter and why, I will also share with you which fragrances I put in each category. So let's start. I just realized that there are a lot of new fragrances in my collection, so I am not going to put these fragrances in any category. This was quite easy actually. I wasn't expecting it to be challenging, but it was like a breeze. I could very quickly decide which fragrances that I would repurchase and which one I would not. Now let's start with fragrances that I would repurchase in a heartbeat. And I have to tell you that actually this was quite revealing, very, very revealing for me when I see now the fragrances that I would not even repurchase, not even in a travel size. I was shocked, let me tell you. So let's start with, of course, Mandarin Basilic from Guerlain. This is just a love for me, a fragrance that I would forever and ever repurchase and love. Same goes for Musc Noir Rose. Totally honest, I'm not wearing it as much as I did in the past, but still it's one of my favorite fragrances. I would definitely repurchase. Same goes for Blooming Bouquet from Dior. I don't care about the longevity, I just love this fragrance. The same goes, of course, for my beloved Coco Chanel. Yes, I'm not using it a lot because it's a very put together fragrance, but I cannot live without it. It's my first fragrance and will forever be in my collection, and not for sentimental reasons. I would also, in a heartbeat, repurchase my beloved Louis Rouge from Christian Louboutin. One of my top 10 fragrances, and also a fragrance that I use a lot. It's just the most elegant fragrance in my collection. When it comes to the Chance line, and let me tell you, I've used this fragrance a lot this year. Much more than any other year, especially my beloved Eau Vive. As you can see, the love I have for this fragrance. I also would repurchase in a heartbeat the Eau Fraiche, but I am not sure if I would keep both of these fragrances and which one would I repurchase. So one would definitely be repurchased, the other one maybe not, because I feel like it's redundant to have both of them. But since I use more the Eau Fraiche Eau de Toilette, I think I would go for the Eau de Toilette. Now when it comes to Eau Tendre, I would repurchase Eau Tendre, but in the Eau de Parfum. I don't know why. I've always loved the Eau de Toilette more than the Eau de Parfum, but for some reason I am like really craving the Eau de Parfum, which I don't have. So this one I would repurchase, but in the Eau de Parfum. Maybe I would regret my purchase. But anyway, again, like Eau Fraiche, one of them must be in my collection. Actually, the way I am obsessed with the Chance line this year makes me want to try or retry the Chance, the original ones, the Eau de Parfum, the Eau de Toilette. I've never liked these, but yeah, that was quite a while ago. So I've changed and my taste changed. So maybe I would love them. I would definitely repurchase my Burberry Goddess. I love it and I wear it a lot, and I would have worn that fragrance much more if it wasn't for the fact that I have now a new co-worker who suffers from migraines and is very sensitive to smells, so I can't wear fragrances to work. And this is why the last year I didn't upload a lot of videos, because I didn't have the chance even to test a lot of fragrances. Because the time was limited. I had only the weekend and maybe the afternoon, and it wasn't much. This one would have been maybe half if it wasn't for that. La Danza delle Libellule, of course, you all know how much I love this fragrance. I've used quite a bit of it. Didn't use it much this year for the same reason, but even if I don't use it much this is the fragrance that I would definitely repurchase. I was shocked actually that I included Changing Constance from Penhaligon's as a fragrance that I would repurchase. I love the scent, don't get me wrong. Oh, it's so beautiful. But it's very light, and I just hate the longevity and sillage on this fragrance. Not so much the sillage, but the longevity. Like, if I can smell myself, it's okay. But it's just very, very bad in performance. But still, as you can see, it's a fragrance that I would repurchase. So yeah, I was quite shocked with that. I was not shocked to include Orchidée Vanille from Van Cleef & Arpels as a repurchase, because this is a very easy-going vanilla fragrance that you can wear to work. I actually did wear it quite a bit to work, just sprayed a little bit, so no one could smell me but me, so I could only smell myself and no one ever. But I love this scent. Very easy-going vanilla fragrance. The same goes for Spiritus Double Vanille from Guerlain, an elegant, put-together vanilla that is not too sweet, that is just elegance in a bottle. What can I tell you? I was also shocked for this one. Actually, I shouldn't include this fragrance because it's a limited edition bottle. But if it wasn't a limited edition one, I would have worn this fragrance more, and I would definitely repurchase. Again, it's the vanilla of Guerlain. So actually, these two fragrances I always put in a shelf together because they give me the same feeling. They have this elegance, easygoing vanilla vibe. This one is a little bit more mature if we compare them to the others, but still, it's a 10 out of 10 fragrance. I would also repurchase a full bottle of a discontinued fragrance. Actually, I have a backup bottle of this one. This is Donna Acqua from Valentino. You know, recently I was fancying creating a fragrance. So I was thinking, if I want to create a fragrance, if I have the ability to do it, I'm not a perfumer, but let's say I would do something very similar to this one. Just an easy-going vanilla, jasmine, and almond fragrance. Very, very beautiful. But if I have to create something like that, I would make it more expensive and more elegant, if you know what I mean. Not that this one is a bad fragrance. As you can see, I would repurchase this one in a heartbeat, as well as this one, Escapade Gourmand from Maison Mata. Just to be clear, I am judging all of these fragrances regardless of the price tag. So I am thinking about the scent profile. If I would repurchase a fragrance with this scent profile, again, regardless of the price tag is another issue. For example, with this one, this is definitely too much for what you are paying for, but still, as a scent profile, this is a fragrance that I would definitely repurchase. I would also repurchase Rouge Sarai. Now, although this fragrance I cannot wear a lot, so it should have been in my fragrances that I would repurchase in a travel size, I love the bottle, I love the fragrance to the point that I just want a full bottle of it. I don't know how to explain it. This one I can't live without. Sea Intense from Giorgio Armani. Again, a fragrance that I wanted to wear much more than I did. I couldn't pull it off because Sea Intense is a very, very loud fragrance, and I've got every single time a compliment when I wear it. But I wouldn't repurchase more than 30 ml because I'm not just into very loud fragrances. I love them. I wear them occasionally. I love more soft, airy fragrances, but still, I love this one enough to have a full bottle, in this case, a 30 ml. Sun-Kissed Goddess from Kilian. Oh, this is currently my favorite tropical fragrance, hands down. Love how elegant and easygoing this fragrance is. Although it is kind of loud, but the dry down is much more softer than when you smell it up close. I'm not an oversprayer, so maybe if you overspray, you will get different experience. But for me, this is just the right amount of tropical feeling with elegance, with everything. I just love this one. Blanc Polychrome, a very sparkling, fizzy, neroli, petit grain fragrance. Very, very fresh and invigorating fragrance because I feel like I will finish a travel size in no time with this kind of a scent profile, so I would definitely repurchase this one. Another full bottle, I would definitely go for Lovos Mantis from Atelier Cologne. Now, this one I did not wear much this year. I think I've worn it twice maybe. Yeah, it's actually collecting dust almost in my collection. It used to be an obsession of mine. I don't know why this year I'm not using it enough, and I see like my son was maybe playing with it because I see his fingerprints. Anyway, regardless, I have this fragrance for many years, and I know that I will use it up. That said, actually this fragrance I would repurchase in multiple travel sizes because it's one of these that I tend to keep a decant or a travel size of in my purse and use it during the day to refresh myself. From Bulgari Magnifying Bergamot. This is my favorite bergamot fragrance, hands down. So beautiful and invigorating. It's the price tag of this one that is not so pleasant, but the scent itself is so beautiful. It's a little bit sweet and very, very simple. If you love bergamot in its essence, you would love this one. I would repurchase La Belle in a bigger format even. Although I didn't use that fragrance this year. This is so good. So good. Oh guys, I don't know. This fragrance was very loved for a long time on YouTube and people overlook this one now. I don't care how sweet this one is. I love it. I love it so much. Would definitely repurchase in a full bottle, and I mean full bottle like 100 ml Lost Cherry from Tom Ford. It's just the price tag that prevents me. I am currently using it rarely because I'm afraid to finish it. La Prima from Milano Fragrances. This is the most beautiful, elegant white floral fragrance I've ever smelled in my life. Creamy, elegant, just gorgeousness. This brand is so underrated and it has great fragrances. I did already a buying guide on it actually, and I don't know why I didn't upload it yet, but yeah. To be honest, I would get this one in a 30 or a 50 ml. Not a scent profile that I use as much, but a full bottle, worthy, definitely. 9 AM from Afnan. This is a Middle Eastern brand. They actually sent me this fragrance, and even if they didn't, I would have purchased this one. So beautiful. I didn't think a lot of it because of the bottle and everything, but this is very good. Ingenious Ginger from Goldfield and Banks. This one I would repurchase in a 50 ml, not a 100. Honestly, it's difficult for me to have 100 ml of any fragrance if it's not a fragrance that I use after the shower. I got compliments wearing this fragrance, which was quite shocking for me for the scent profile. Would also repurchase, shockingly, Jasmin d'Eau from Maison Lancôme. So I got this one not thinking a lot of it, but I used it quite a bit this summer. Pivmois Suzu from Armani Privé. Of course, I am going to repurchase this one. I have already actually another bottle, which is 100 ml, if I'm not mistaken. This is a 50 ml, and it's more than enough for me. It has been in my top fragrances for a very long time. Kayali La Feste Burning Cherry 48. Again, the same as Lost Cherry. I love this one. I tend to use more Lost Cherry actually than this one because this has more of a smoky touch, so it's not as easy going as Lost Cherry, but it's like a small difference, let's say. Yeah, this one I would definitely repurchase. I would also repurchase if it was available because it's a discontinued fragrance, J'adore Enjoy. A very easy going summer version of the original J'adore. Of course, I would include in that Nectarine Blossom and Honey from Jo Malone. Although this year I didn't use it as much as last year, but still it's a fragrance that I adore. Vanilla Diorama from Christian Dior. Of course, this is one of my favorite vanillas and one of my favorites, if not my absolute, yeah, it's my favorite from the private collection from Dior. So beautiful and unique and elegant and just Dior in a bottle. And of course, Pure Poison from Dior. I am half through this fragrance. And I just love one of the best jasmine fragrances on the market. Chanel Gabrielle, this is the essence. Again, it's a fragrance that I don't use much of, but it's for me a staple in my collection. And yes, I have the small size and it's more than enough for me. If I finished this one, I would repurchase another one in the same size. Another one that I would repurchase in a full bottle, but in a smaller one, would be Winter Palace from Memo. It's a very, very unique gourmand tea scent. I absolutely adore this scent, but I don't use it enough to have 100 ml. Oh, no, this is not 100 ml. I think it's 75, but I would love it in a 30. Yet another one that I would love in a 30 is Magenta Tanzanite from Armani Privé. I absolutely adore this scent, but again, a scent profile that I don't use enough. A travel size is too little, but a 30 or even a 50 actually would be perfect in this one. I have it in 100. Definitely repurchase 100 ml of this one before it's discontinued. This is a limited edition. It's now for 2 years. Summer Vibes from Light Blue. It's just a more complex version of the original DNA. Siwa from Memo. You all know how much I love this fragrance. For sentimental reason and also because of the scent profile. I would have wished for a little bit more longevity and sillage on it, but still it's one of my favorite fragrances. Of course, Osmanthus from L'Occitane. It's such a happy, easy-going Osmanthus fragrance, and it's very, very affordable. Would repurchase Cartier Cara, because it's a very unique floral that I don't have in my collection. I love this scent. But if I have the chance to buy 1932 from Chanel, I would not repurchase this one. Now let's get to fragrances that I would buy in a travel size. And some of them will shock you. Let's start with Rose Umayyad. This is an oud rose fragrance, and I have absolutely no occasions to wear this fragrance. I love it, but I don't have a fancy lifestyle. So yeah, a travel size of this one would definitely be enough. Same goes for Waja from Parfum de Marly. Now, this is not as challenging as like an oud fragrance, but still it's a fragrance that I don't have a lot of occasions to wear. So although I absolutely love it, would prefer a travel size of this one. This is going to be a shock. Jasmine's Marzipan from Maison Lancôme. My favorite jasmine fragrance, I'm not going to lie. I love the scent, but it's a very strong jasmine fragrance. And it seems like I choke people when I wear it. So I can't wear this one as much as I want. And yeah, a travel size would be enough, but honestly, I would repurchase in a full bottle because of, you know, Maison Lancôme bottles. I just love them. Amouage Honor, my favorite gardenia fragrance, hands down. It's the most beautiful gardenia, but it's a very elegant, put together white floral. So I tend to use it when I am wearing a specific style. So I don't use it enough to justify even a 30 ml. A travel size will be more than enough for me to wear this fragrance, especially that it's very, very strong, so you don't use a lot of it. This is 50 actually ml, and I can see the level. It's almost here, like almost not used, and I have it now almost for 3 or 4 years in my collections. Also for Michael Kors, Wanderlust. The Eau Fraiche I would definitely buy a full bottle of, but the original one, it's a little bit, again, too loud for me to wear. And I don't tend to use floral fragrances during winter. So the time and place that I would wear this one is quite limited. Again, a travel size is more than enough, but it's one of my favorite jasmine fragrances. Same goes for Prada La Femme and La Femme Intense. Both are very, very elegant, easygoing floral fragrance. There was a time where I used this one a lot. And actually, this one, like this is the original one, would be the perfect office fragrance for me. But yeah, again, for the same reason, I can't wear it. So yeah, I think a travel size will be enough for my Pradas. Next is Orange Brigarade. This one is more than enough for me because I have a lot of fresh summer fragrances, so I don't use it as much to have a bigger bottle. So this one is actually just perfect for me. Shockingly, I would also get only a travel size of Musk Nude from Narciso Rodriguez. It's a very, very beautiful, musky, floral summer fragrance, fresh and girly. But I don't know. I tend to use, when it comes to this scent profile, other fragrances like Au Tendre, like Blooming Bouquet. Not that they are similar fragrances, but they have the same vibe. I use it, but not enough to have a 30 ml. Trussardi di Via di Milano, Limitless Shopping Via della Spiga. I love this scent, but with all these fragrances that I have in my collection, it's not something that I need a full bottle of. So although I love the apple note here and I love the fragrance, I just don't need it in a full bottle. Now let's get to the fragrance that actually inspired this video. This is Valentino Born in Roma, or Donna Born in Roma, the original one. For the longest time, this was one of my top fragrances. I don't use it a lot because it's kind of a loud fragrance for me. And it's very sweet, so I usually use it as date night scent or going out on a special occasion. It's not a fragrance that I use on a daily basis, although it's perfectly fine to use it on a daily basis for you. I was looking at this fragrance and I just realized, I think I have this fragrance even before starting my YouTube channel. I bought this one when it was first released. And look, I didn't even get to half of the bottle. So this one definitely I need in a travel size. Actually, I will declutter this full bottle and I will get myself a travel size, also because I love the travel size bottle. I would also repurchase a travel size of my Acqua di Parmas, especially Fico di Amalfi. These two I have for the longest time, Arancia di Capri, Mirto di Panarea. And yeah, although I used it quite a bit, also to guarantee that these fragrances will not go bad. So I'm a little bit on the fence on these, but Fico di Amalfi, 100% I would go with a travel size, because as a fig fragrance, I'm not so much into fig fragrances. Also, Gris Dior. This is a Chypre fragrance and it's a very, very mature fragrance. I'm not going to lie. And this is why I only need a travel size of it. This is a 40 ml and I have it for a long time. And as you can see, I use it rarely, but it's a scent profile that I love and I don't have Chypre fragrances. Next is a fragrance that I have in a travel size, but I thought that I'm going to use it more often, so I got myself a 30 ml, and guess what? I don't use it as much as I thought. This is Soleil Blanc from Tom Ford, and nothing wrong about it, but again, it's a fragrance that I need to be in a special outfit to wear. I don't know why. It's something special. Supreme Bouquet from Yves Saint Laurent. This is a tuberose fragrance, and as someone who struggles with tuberose in general, although I love this fragrance, it's beautiful, but it's very, very loud. I don't know if they have a small bottle, but if they did, I would repurchase it, but in a smaller bottle. Cassili from Parfum de Marly. It's a little bit too sweet for me, so I have to be in the mood for it. Also, shockingly, Vert Malachite and Bleu Turquoise from Armani Privé. This one is quite a unique scent that actually, I don't know if I would repurchase, but there's something about it very, very special. So for now, it's a fragrance that I would repurchase, but in a travel size. While Vert Malachite, it's the same as Supreme Bouquet, as Gardenia, Honor from Amouage. It's just a creamy, loud white flowers and sweet. So it's not a fragrance that I use a lot. Love the scent profile, but it's just not fitting for my lifestyle, if that makes any sense. Also, Ambre Eccentrico, again from Armani. This is a very spicy, unique amber fragrance. My favorite, actually. No, it's now actually my number 2 from the line. But anyway, it's one of my favorites from the line. But it's a scent profile that I don't use a lot of, and it's a winter fragrance for sure. Same goes for a Café Chantin from Nobile 1942. It's cherry, it's like cherry powder, and I don't have anything like it in my collection. And don't get me wrong, I love it, but I don't need a full bottle of it. So yes, again, it's a fragrance that I don't gravitate enough to have a full bottle of. A travel size is absolutely more than enough for Scandal by Night, a discontinued fragrance. I feel like doing this video here on my bed was not my brightest idea. As you have noticed, when I speak about fragrances, I get carried away. So if you are still watching, thank you very much. I am going to speed through the rest as much as I can. Lilac Love from Amouage. Loves this fragrance, but it's not something that I gravitate toward so much. This one I'm a little bit on the fence about, but I think a travel size for me would have been perfect. This is My Burberry Black. Very, very sexy. Sweet fragrance. Actually, I think I'm not going to repurchase this one. Next, Balenciaga Flora Botanica. Such a unique scent. I don't know if it's discontinued or not, and with all the things that is going on with Balenciaga, I don't know. But as a scent profile, this is a fragrance that I would repurchase in a travel size. I used it a lot a couple of years ago, and then I don't know why I'm not using it as much. Maybe because you have to go through the opening, and the opening is quite challenging. J'adore l'or. This is a masterpiece in my opinion. Francis Gurjon really did a great job with this flanker of J'adore. But it's, again, too white floral, too strong for me to wear it as much. So very, very shocking. Pure Musk. This is the absolute version from Narciso Rodriguez. I don't know, is it because it's discontinued or why? I just don't wear it as much. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy that I have a full bottle because it's discontinued, so I can't find it. But if that scent was still available, I would definitely repurchase it, but in a travel size. Same goes for Kayali Vanilla. I wore this one actually a couple of days ago, and I really enjoyed it. But since this one, I have quite a collection of vanilla fragrances that I've never thought that I have. And this one just took a back seat. It's still a great scent and I love it. It's one of the best from Kayali, but it's just too simple and too weak to be layered. So whenever I layer this one with another fragrance, just takes a back seat. It doesn't give me what I want. Tom Ford Noir Extrême. Do you remember when I was obsessed with this one? It's a beautiful scent. I'm still loving it. But, you know, I had a travel size and I decided to get a full bottle of it. And now I think a travel size was enough. I actually finished one travel size, but I don't use it as much as I did. Of course, my beloved, the Bewitching Jasmine from Penhaligon. This is the gorgeous, gorgeous oud and jasmine fragrance. So beautiful and so elegant, but again, something that you would wear for special occasion. So love the fragrance, but in a travel size. Another continued one. This is Roses Berberanza from Maison Lancôme. This is the most unique rose scent I've ever smelled. And now, these are all the fragrances that I would not repurchase. And let me tell you, I am shocked. Shocked. Let's start with Rose Peonia from Maison Lancôme and also Pivoine Printemps. They are beautiful fragrances, but they just don't give me enough. So yeah, I'm not wearing them enough, and also I wouldn't repurchase. Very, very shocking. Has been in a year, almost a year now, my collection. This is Jasmin Musk. This is from the private collection from Narciso. I love the scent, but I just don't wear it. It doesn't even justify buying a travel size of it. Juliet has a gun vanilla vibe. If I tell you it has been 2 years and I've never worn this fragrance. When I smell it, I love it. Just don't wear it. Mandarin Basilic Forte. I did wear this one and it's new in my collection, but I just prefer the original one, so I don't think that I would repurchase this one. Jasmin Cusamuno is replaced, as I said, with Jasmin L'Eau from Maison Lancôme. As I said before, I actually would have decluttered this fragrance if it wasn't for the fact that it's almost finished. So this one is not going to be a repurchase. It's a nice scent, but I don't know. I have many and I just don't need it. It's a perfect bed scent for me, and the same goes for A Drop the Easy. I was so obsessed with this fragrance, and it's still a beautiful scent that I would recommend if you love powdery fragrances, but I just don't wear it. I just realized I don't use bed scents anymore. I don't know why. Narciso Poudre. This was rarely used. I think since I bought this fragrance a long time ago, I used it twice, maybe 3 times. So I don't know. I just don't use it. Maybe because I prefer the other Narciso fragrance. So when I want the musk of Narciso, I usually go for Musk Noir Rose. And this one just doesn't do it for me. Coeur Noir from Armani. This was a blind buy. It's a beautiful scent, but it's just not it for me. So it's okay scent, but I don't know. I just don't use it enough. It's very easygoing. The same goes for Santal Karma from Atelier Cologne. Actually, I used to use this one as an office scent for a long time. Now, I don't know. I think if I want a woody office scent, I would go with the one from Van Cleef & Arpels. I don't remember the name. So this one I would not repurchase. I would also not repurchase any of the Mademoiselles, although I used it a lot, but maybe I became snobby with my fragrances. I don't know. They are great, affordable fragrances, and I love to wear them when I wanted to feel girly, young, and I'm still enjoying them, but I don't think that I would repurchase them, although they are very, very affordable. The shock for me was the next one. Light Blue Intense. I tried to wear this fragrance this year, and I don't know why. I just was underwhelmed. Maybe because there is the flanker that I love, the summer vibes. I don't know, but just the intense one, I didn't enjoy. Actually, now that I am seeing the fragrances, the theme is watery, synthetic fragrances, like fresh synthetic fragrances, are just out for me for some reason. So yeah, for the longest time, this was my baby, and now it's not anymore. So it will not be a shock if you find Moscow Mule and also Not a Perfume Superdose. Where is it? I don't know where Not a Perfume Superdose is, but yeah, it would have been in the same category. Oh my god, it's a mess here. Anyway, Cedar Atlas from Atelier Cologne. This one was quite off-putting for me. I don't know why. I used to love it, but my taste changed, it seems. I would not repurchase Dior Riviera, Jasmin des Anges, and Eden Rock, which I can't find. It's somewhere here. It's a mess. Anyway, these 3 fragrances I would not repurchase, not because I don't like them and not because they are bad. I don't know. I would rather purchase other fragrances, if that makes any sense. A very loved fragrance actually this year, and I wore it a lot, Water Lily Sun from Erin. Love it. Actually, as you can see, I've worn it a lot and I don't have it for a long time in my collection. But I wouldn't repurchase it. I enjoy it, but it seems not enough to get another bottle. The same goes for Pink. I don't remember now the name. It's a pink bottle from Valentino Born in Roma. It's an orange blossom fragrance, and this is maybe why, and also because since then I've tested many orange blossom fragrances that are great, and I definitely prefer them to this. Almond Harmony from the House of Oud. I've talked about this fragrance and that I'm so disappointed with the longevity. If it wasn't for that, I would have definitely repurchased this one, but it's just not it for me, especially for the price tag. Just not worth it. Another shock. Blessed Baraka and Bouquet Ideale from Zerjov. These 2 fragrances, I love. I mean, when I just open them and smell them from the cap, I just love them. But I don't wear them. I don't know why. I know why this one, because it's very, very out there fragrance. It's not for everyone. Blooming Bouquet from Dior. If it wasn't a discontinued fragrance, I would have not repurchased it. It's a, you know, now that I'm smelling it, I'm saying no, I would repurchase it, but I don't know. It doesn't stand out in all these other fragrances and the many that are on my wish list. Would not repurchase the discontinued Black Mercedes from Mercedes-Benz. Beautiful ambery fragrance and very affordable, but again, I don't wear it like almost at all. Jasmine, Sambac and Marigold, the same. Love the scent, don't wear it at all. For a jasmine fragrance, I prefer others. Another shock is Hibiscus Palm from Aran. Actually, this is a great tropical fragrance, but recently, every time I wear it, I feel like it turns on my skin in quite a strange way. So sometimes I feel like, am I sweating? I mean, I smell strange. I'm not going to elaborate, so yeah, this one is actually going to be decluttered. Gucci Guilty Parfum, a beautiful gothic dark rose fragrance that I absolutely love to wear for Halloween, and I was obsessed with this scent for a long time. You see, it's a great scent, but this scent profile I don't wear enough, not even to get like a travel size of, so yeah. Not it for me. Dettare di Sole from Guerlain. I almost never wear. It's nice. It's a nice take. The salty, beachy fragrances, but it's not it for me. This one was quite a recent purchase, Pera Granit. I immediately regretted my purchase, so yeah, it's not a surprise. It's going to be decluttered. Chloe Nomad, shockingly, is a fragrance that I would not repurchase, because if I have to choose as a cheap fragrance between these two, I would go with Gris Dior, and I'm not into cheap fragrances. The same goes for Light Blue Sun. It's a limited edition. Even if the scent profile was repeated, I would not repurchase it. Now, there are two fragrances that I am on the fence about. So I don't know if I would repurchase it in a travel size, or would I ignore this fragrance altogether. This is Orange Sanguine from Atelier Cologne, and this is Fleur de Portofino from Tom Ford. Great scents, nothing wrong about them. Used to wear them a lot, but I feel like I almost forgot about them. I would not repurchase Karl Lagerfeld Fleur de Thé. It seems like this is the theme for after the shower scent. I am obsessed with them until I finish them. I don't repurchase them. So yeah, this one is not going to be repurchased. Also, as you can see, I use it a lot. Chloe Nomad Nuit d'Egypte. It's actually a fairly new fragrance, but I just don't gravitate towards it. And honestly, now looking to all these fragrances just doesn't represent me. Now that you know every single fragrance in my collection except of the new ones, but you can see any of my recent hauls to see my opinion on these fragrances. Now that I've spoke about all these fragrances, I find like it's kind of easy to find the fragrances that I'm going to declutter actually. I need, as I said, to declutter a lot. Let's start with the ones that I didn't talk about. So they are the new fragrances that I added, especially the Middle Eastern one. A lot of you told me in the comments that I need to wait for some of them because they, I don't know, they need maceration, whatever it is. Am I a fragrance snob? Maybe, but I just don't have the time for this. So Tiryaq from Latafa is going to be decluttered. It has a bio smell. I'm so sorry. Everyone is telling me it smells like Labelle. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Like, these are two totally different fragrances. I'm just, I don't know what is wrong with me, but I just can't get the resemblance. So Tiryaq with this smell is going to be decluttered. Same goes for Musammam. This is just not it at all. It's just a nasty fragrance in my opinion. don't get the hype at all. Ajwad, didn't cut it. And also Yara, although this one was quite nice, but it's not a scent profile that I really love. And one of my nieces is called Yara, so she will definitely love this fragrance. And it's also a scent profile that she will enjoy. Next, definitely Cosmic from Kylie Jenner. Don't get it. Again, for my niece. Going to Declutter also L'Interdit Absolu. I did a review on it. You can check it in the description down below. This was not for me. With the lavender note, no. Also, Burberry Goddess Intense. Oh my god. The patchouli, they ruined a beautiful, beautiful scent. So these are the fragrances that I'm going to clutter from all my new ones. Now let's get to the ones that I've told you that I would not repurchase. I'm definitely not going to declutter all of them because some I just can't. But let's quickly go through the fragrances. Nomade Nuit d'Egypte will be decluttered. Light Blue Sun, Narciso Poudre. I want to declutter one of these two, but I just don't know which one. So I am going to wear them next days and declutter one of them. Nettare di Sole and Pera Granita are going to be decluttered. Cedar Atlas, the pink bottle from Valentino, Mercedes Black, My Burberry Black, Cuir Noir. I will give it another chance and then decide. Vanilla Vibes, I just can't let go of this fragrance. I don't know why. So I am going to wear it just another time and then decide. Now there are a lot of fragrances that I would declutter, but I feel like they are not going to be sold. For example, if I want to declutter Almond Harmony, it's very difficult because it's an opaque bottle. So I don't know. I don't know about this one. Same goes for Blessed Baraka. I don't know if I can sell this fragrance. Hibiscus Palm is going to be decluttered. I'm still not sure about Jasmine Sambac and Marigold from Jo Malone. I will give it a chance and see. I will declutter Gucci Guilty Parfum. I will also declutter but not sell some fragrances because they are used quite a bit and I find it difficult to sell these fragrances. For example, Moscow Mule, Not a Perfume Superdose. I will keep Moscow Mule just in case that I change my mind and maybe it's just a phase I am going through. If I want like these very fresh laundry, out of the shower kind of scents. Going to declutter Chloe Eau Fresh, and with that I have no Chloe fragrance at all. Well, quite shocking. Not sure about Jasmin des Anges and Dior Riviera. So again, two fragrances that I'm going to test these days and then decide. I will also declutter the two Mademoiselles, but I am not going to sell them. I will just gift it to someone. And the rest I'm going to keep, some because I've used like almost all of it, so I will finish it. And others because I'm not ready, like Bouquet Ideale from Zerjaf. So I have 21 fragrances that are a definite declutter and that are a definite no, they are going to be decluttered, and 9 maybes. So it's kind of in the range of what I need to declutter. I wanted to declutter more, to be honest, but yeah, it seems like I'm not ready. So although I didn't meet my goals for this video, I'm quite satisfied actually. Maybe because I feel very at ease with this declutter. This is the most chilled declutter I've ever done. And this will definitely be my last declutter of the year. I feel really exhausted and I need some water because yeah, I've talked a lot. So if you watched me till now, thank you very much for watching, and please tell me in the comments down below which fragrances that you would definitely repurchase from your collection. Very, very curious to know the fragrances that you will choose. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumb up and consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks a lot for watching and see you next time.